Welcome, this is Premium Bells. I'm one of the founders here at Mastermind Investment Group. And in this video, we're gonna be diving into the Trinity Scanner strategy. This video has been very, very high in demand as so many people have requested it. And now it's finally here. I've been trading in the Forex and crypto market since 2018. I've built teams of tens of thousands of clients around the world. And after all of that experience, here's why I can say scanners are the most powerful way to generate money from the Forex markets. Now, there are three major systems that you can use in order to make money in Forex. Number one is copy trading. Number two is learning how to trade yourself. And number three is leveraging scanners. When it comes to copy trading, it is a great system for beginners. But we all know that you can't catch every single trade. Sometimes you're gonna miss it. Sometimes you're not available on your phone to catch it. And a lot of the time, you don't even know why you're winning or losing. Now, on the flip side, when it comes to learning how to trade yourself, this is also a good option, but it's just way too complicated for the average person. There are so many different variables, so many different strategies that you can learn, and it's just not conducive, especially for beginners. Now, the reason why I'm so passionate about scanners is that it has an element of copy trading, and it also has an element of learning how to trade on your own. Our scanners do about 70% of the work for you and allow you to not only copy from a system, but also learn as you go along. Now, within Mastermind Investment Group, we've developed a system called the Trinity Scanner strategy. A lot of people are wondering what exactly this means. And what we've been working on over the last several months is bringing multiple scanners together to create a very simple, duplicatable system that anyone can follow. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the very same system that we've been using as an organization that's allowed thousands of people to become profitable. So this system consists of three scanners that we use as an organization. Number one is Sniper Pro. Number two is Killshot. And number three is Trendwave. We use all three scanners together to maximize our probabilities that the market is going to go the direction that we want it to. So from this point on in the video, I'm going to share my screen and actually show you guys exactly how to use each scanner. Okay, so first thing is first, we actually want to head over to Forex Factory to just check if there's any news events that can affect the markets. So if we look over here, this is a yellow folder. Yellow folders typically don't affect the market much, so this is fine. Over here, we have an orange folder. Orange folders also don't affect the market too much, and so this is fine. What we need to be careful of is the red folders. Anytime we see a red folder, this can actually affect the market significantly. Let's say there's a news event and there's a red folder next to it. I will typically not trade at that particular time with this particular pair, right? So in this example, I would avoid trading the US dollar because there's a red folder news. So in this example, if the news event hasn't happened yet and it's still gonna come up later during the day, I would avoid trading this particular pair and stick to a currency where there's only yellow or red folders. If the news event has already passed, then that means whatever was going to happen in the market has already happened, which means I'm able to trade that pair for the day. So in this instance, it's actually almost 5 p.m. in the afternoon. There's all the news events has actually already happened. So in this case, we're good to go. Now, the first system is called Sniper Pro. This basically gives us indications of whether the market is uptrending or downtrending and how strong the actual trend is as well. So right now we're currently looking at Bitcoin. You can actually flick through and actually change the different currency pairs that you want to trade. And if we look over here, we can actually trade between Forex, commodities, crypto, and indices. We can also go ahead and change the different time frames that we actually want to trade on. Me personally, because I'm a day trader, I like to trade on a 15-minute, 30-minute, and also the 1 hour. So what exactly are we looking for on Sniper Pro? I know there's a lot of mess on the screen. There's a lot of lines. There's a lot of noise happening. So if you're a beginner, don't get confused. The only thing I want you to pay attention to is this box over here. Now, all we're looking for is to understand, is the market bullish or bearish? Meaning, is it going up or is it going down? So Sniper Pro is actually color coordinated to make it easier for you. So if you see blue, you know this means up. And if you see red, you know this means down. So in this example, what we're looking for is for these three lines to be correlating with one another. So I'll give you an example. The top line says bullish, which means we're looking to buy. The second line says trending, which is a good confirmation. We want it to say trending. If it says consolidating or pulling back, then we're not interested in the trade. And the third box, we want it to say very strong or strong. If it says neutral, weak, or very weak, then we don't want to enter the trade. So in this examples, we have three confirmations giving us the go ahead that this is likely to go up. Now I like to check through three major time frames. Again, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the H1. We could see on a 15-minute, it's also showing all three. On a 30-minute, it's showing all three. And on a 1 hour chart, it's showing all three. Sometimes I also like to check the 5-minute just to see what it's looking like. And as we can see, it actually says neutral. But this isn't too much of an issue because I'm mainly trading off the 15-minute, 30-minute, and the H1. I also like to check the 4 hour time frame because I want to make sure in a larger time frame, we're also correlating in the right direction. So as long as the H4 shows bullish, for me, that's a good go ahead. But again, the major three time frames I'm looking for is the 15-minute, 30-minute, and also the 1 hour. So in this instance, we are good to go for buys. So now I'm heading over to Killshot, which is the second scanner that we use in order to correlate what Sniper Pro has just said. So I'm actually going to go to crypto as we're trading Bitcoin. And here we are, BTC USD. Now on Killshot, what we're looking for is very simple. Where it says trend BTC USD, what we're looking for is the first 5 boxes at the top to all be correlating in the same direction that Sniper Pro just called out. So in this example, Sniper Pro is calling out a buy. As we can see, it's bullish and it's showing blue. So we want minute 1, minute 5, minute 15, minute 30, and also a H4 to be showing up. And on the POC, where it says price, we want the minute 15, minute 30, and H1 to all be showing above. So in this example, we have minute 15 and minute 30 showing below, which means this trade is not ready for us to take. Now, just for argument's sake, let's imagine that the 15-minute and a 30-minute were both showing above. We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue boxes, which gives us the go ahead that we can actually look for a buy. Typically, when it comes to the daily time frame, I don't mind too much if it doesn't correlate, but if it does also show blue, that just gives us an additional confirmation that the trend is very strong. The 4 hour time frame is the same. Ideally, I would like it to correlate, but if everything is matching up on all the lower time frames apart from the H4, then sometimes I'll actually go ahead and take the trade. And lastly, when I see every single box showing in the same direction and also correlating with Sniper Pro, this is like a 10 out of 10 and I'm ready to execute. Last but not least, over here in the top right hand side corner, it says low volume. Ideally, we want it to be green and we want it to say good volume. This just means there's enough volume in the market for it to actually move quickly. So that is all we're looking for on Killshot. Again, we're looking for the first 5 boxes to correlate with what Sniper Pro said and the bottom 3 boxes to also correlate. In this example, we're looking for buys as it says bullish, trending very strong. So we want Killshot to ideally show up, 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 and above, above, above. So let's just imagine in this example, it did give us all the confirmations. Last but not least, we're going to go over to Trendwave to actually find the trade. So I'm going to head over to crypto BTC, and I like to start by looking on a 15-minute time frame. The majority of my trades are taken on a 15-minute. So Trendwave is probably the easiest system to use. It basically gives you a signal. It tells you when to buy and it tells you when to sell. Now, all we need to do is look for a particular trade where the trade is actually at entry. So if we can see in this example, Bitcoin is well above entry. So this trade is not exactly ready for us to take. Ideally, I would like the price to be literally hovering just above, right on entry, or just below. So now I'm going to head over to the 30-minute time frame and let's see if there's any trades available on Bitcoin. Again, unfortunately, no trades available. We could see the signal has been sent out. The entry is down here, but the price is well up here, which means that this trade is not ready for us to take. Now let's see what the H1 says, the hour chart. Again, same thing. The entry is right here, but the trade is all the way up here. Lastly, I'm going to look at the 5-minute to see if there's a trade available. So for me, 5-minute is the last resort. I typically like to take trades on a 15-minute at least, but we can see there is a trade available on the 5-minute. Like I said, if we're going for a buy, I ideally want the price to be either spot on entry, or just below. So the good thing about Trendwave is it literally gives you the coordinates. It gives you the entry, it gives your invalidation, which is your stop loss, and it also gives you the exits. So the last thing we need to do in order to actually take this trade is bring out our tool, our position tool, which basically is going to get us to understand which exit we should use. Now, if you're brand new, I'm going to always recommend go for a 1-to-1 to start with. This just means whatever you're risking on your stop loss, you're looking to gain the same amount on your exit. So for example, if you're risking $10 on a trade, you're looking to make $10. If you're risking $100, you're looking to make $100. That is a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Now, once you become more confident, more skilled, and you have more experience, you can start shooting for a 1-to-2. A 1-to-2 would mean you're risking $10 to make $20, or you're risking $100 to make $200. So in this example, if we look at the risk to reward right here, we want it to say 1 at least. So I'm going to pull this up to exit 2. That gives us a risk to reward of 1.28. So that's just above a 1-to-1, which is fine. And if I bring this down a little bit more to where the price is currently, that actually gives us a 2.6 risk to reward. So let's see if we're able to go for exit 1. So the good thing about, I'm going to zoom in. The good thing about price being slightly under entry when it's a buy is if we get in early, it gives us a much better risk to reward and we can actually come out at exit 1. So let's just imagine we were to take this trade. Our stop loss will be down here, which shows here. We can enter the trade right here and we can come out at exit 1, which actually gives us on this trade a 1-to-2. So if we were to risk $10 off this particular trade, we're going to make $20. If we risk $100 off this particular trade, we're going to make $200. But let me give you an example of what if this trade was actually at entry. What would this look like in terms of risk to reward? We will most likely have to go for an exit 2, as we see here, which gives us a 1-to-1 at least. But in this example, the price is currently down here and we can actually go for exit 1, which gives us near enough a 1-to-2 risk to reward. So there you have it. It's very simple. We've just used 3 different scanners to give us optimal accuracy in terms of whether we should be buying or whether we should be selling. So as you can see, we first looked at Sniper Pro. We wanted it to say bullish, trending, and very strong. Then we looked at Killshot. We wanted the first 5 boxes to show up and the bottom 3 boxes to be reading above. And then lastly, we're looking for a buy on a 15-minute, 30-minute, or 1-hour time frame. And the last resort is to actually go down to the 5-minute if we couldn't find any trades on the other time frames. So we just gave you an example of a buy. What would it look like if we were to sell? Here's an example. So this is US or UK oil. We'd want it to say bearish and show red. We want it to show trending. And we want it to say very strong or strong. So it's literally the same thing, but just in reverse. If we want to buy, we want it to say bullish, trending, and very strong. If it's a sell, we want it to show bearish, trending, and very strong or strong. If you're new and you want an easy way to remember this, very simple. You want it to be red for a sell or you want it to be blue for a buy. And on the flip side, when we go over to Killshot, we want everything to ideally be reading red. So at least the minute 1, minute 5, minute 15, minute 30, and H4, we want it to read red. And the minute 15, minute 30, and H1 on a POC, we want it to be reading below. As long as we see those confirmations, we're good for a sell. And of course, not to forget, we want it to also show good volume at the top right hand side of the screen. And then last but not least, once we've got those confirmations, we'll head over to Trendwave, and we're basically going to look for a selling opportunity, which we can see one here. But of course, you know, the price is actually below entry for the sell. So this isn't something we'll take. But we can flick through on a 15-minute. We can see there's a trade right now available. And literally the price is sitting at entry. So let's just say, for example, we were to have all the confirmations on Sniper Pro, all the confirmations on Killshot. We can then just go over to Trendwave, take this trade. We will use the tool in the opposite direction. We'll go for short position. We'll pull it at entry, move this out of the way. And we're going to go for at least a 1-to-1, which will be exit 2. So we can see risk to reward ratio 1.14. So that will give us a 1-to-1. Again, if you're a beginner, I'll recommend just stick to 1-to-1. Once you've gained experience and you're confident and you understand a bit more about the markets, you can start pushing more so for a 1-to-2. So there you have it, a very simple video showing you how to use all 3 scanners together. Of course, there's a lot more to it, and this is something that we teach within our academy on a daily basis. We actually trade together live every single day, and we use all 3 of these scanners and look for trades together as an organization. However, I just wanted to make a very simple video just to give you guys an introduction into what the scanners look like, how to use it, and how effective it is. So to gain more information on how you can actually start using these scanners, go back to the person that gave you this video and they will give you much more information on how you can get started.